Hi, so this time I wanted to sort of look at sort of internal discrimination, where sort of a group who already perhaps is somewhat of a minority is further persecuted internally, by others belonging to that group, and it's often sort of subdivisions, if you will, against other subdivisions, which is not really a united front at the end of the day. Divide and conquer, is often a great way to beat down opposition, and at the end of the day, if you don't have to do that yourself, brilliant. So, the first one seems to be particularly the gay element. Again, this is all from personal experience, or knowledge that has come to me personally. But yeah, the sort of gay outlook, I suppose. Not so much the lesbians; they seem to be fine from my experience. Again, but the gaze towards bisexualism in particular is quite understandable, perhaps to a degree, and I can sort of see where they're coming from. It's one of the downsides, if you will, to being able to see all sides in an argument. But where they sort of see bisexual, or bisexualism, really, bisexuality, as sort of being, if you like, part-timers, weekenders, and just like the sort of hetero opinion, greedy, or confused, undecided, all of those things, which is, as I say, not very inclusionist. At the end of the day, they are still, because some of the opinions also voiced are those of, if you like, the hetero majority, and the group is LGBT or LGBTQ, as whichever you prefer. It's a bit strange. It's kind of saying, well, you're part of our umbrella, but we don't like you. Well, no. How about you're part of this group, and what we need to do is to ensure that we're all accepted for what we are. I mean, to be honest, that's pretty much my personal opinion of the whole view of society, the whole goal of our modern world. Help everyone kind of feel like, you know what, I belong. It's fine, I can be me. That would be ideal, that would be brilliant. Unless, of course, you happen to be a mass murderer, in which case we'll get you some help, if possible, or just isolate you. Whatever. But it's quite strange, and also, not that I've seen it massively from my own experience, but I have heard sort of tell of, if you like, distrust and dislike of the trans community again, in the same kind of group. Again, possibly because of the fact of, well, why not just be happy with what you are, kind of thing. Again, like the sort of the hetero majority. And again, it's all about making sure that everyone's included, everyone's made comfortable to be who they are, to be who they feel they are, to be what they identify as and identify with. It's pretty much not rocket science. So, and then the other one, sort of harkening back to last time, is the physical and mental disability or illness kind of thing, because obviously the Equality Act, I believe, sort of that took over from the DDA, sort of is for both. Weirdly, it's for equality. It's in the name, and as I understand, it also allows for breastfeeding women to not be told to go away. That's a win for that side. So it is its name equality. And as I say, it's been particularly the area of people with disabilities to to sort of champion that and to get it done, really, and obviously to continue to enforce it. So what pains me is when a person with physical disability disbelieves, or I don't know, just completely misjudges a person with a mental illness that's chronic enough to almost at least be extremely debilitating, even if it's not perhaps a disability. It's something that I've seen evidence of where, one party on the mental side not at all really judging the person with a physical disability, yet that one kind of coming over a lot more so. And it tends to happen more, because also I've also seen it when I was in school age, many moons ago, of a girl who was a wheelchair user, and she kind of had this sense of entitlement, because I think it's equality, not preferential treatment. There's a big difference between the two, and I think it does tend to be those who are given preferential treatment, who are given too much, almost like an overcompensation for perhaps any physical limitations, are often kind of, they often have that sense of entitlement a little too much. At the end of the day, we're all entitled to the same thing, which is pretty much to live. That's it. It's not any more than that or any less than that. So it's one of those things where, in those and other groups, there needs to be this solidarity, because if you're already seen as a minor element, if you're already perhaps seen as an element of the whole that society wants to brush under the carpet, then stand as one. Again, going back to my earlier statement, divide and conquer. All of these groups come together, even if it's just in their respective umbrellas, let alone the whole thing, but just in the respective umbrellas, if there is that solidarity and that unity consistently, then equality is going to be maintained. It's quite straightforward. So think on it. Judge not, lest ye be judged. And until next time, take care.